and Driver released its first 10 best automotive list. The Honda Accord was on that first list and has been for 38 years ever since, more than any other vehicle. Come see why the Accord is consistently rated as one of the best vehicles on the road at Team Honda on Siegen Lane.
That would be concerning and maybe set a precedent moving forward.
If you have plans to be outside, you might hit a couple of these little passing showers.
A drug bust and a few arrests made. Look at what they hauled in here.
Good morning. It's 9 News now at 7 o'clock. Ooh, when you do this so long, you never remember what time you're going.
I actually had questions this morning before the 4:30 started.
Yeah.
I was talking to the director and producer. I'm like, it's Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Is it Wednesday? Is it Wednesday? I can't calendar
Thursday?
right now. I don't even
Wednesday.
know. So here's the thing. What we're going to do for you is it is in fact Wednesday. We've confirmed that over the last 2.5 hours. So let's talk to Dr. Steve about the Wednesday forecast. See if we can't figure. It took us that long to figure out Wednesday. Well, me.
I should be the one dazed after being assaulted by Liz.
Oh my goodness.
Main show.
Man, I got a blast in the past lesson from Steve today. A Bubba keg.
Then you gave him the grandpa.
Come here.
That was
It
good.
just means wisdom. You've got more wisdom to share, Steve.
Don't believe it. Don't believe it for a
Nice
minute.
recovery
Yeah,
there,
thank you.
Liz.
That's how you save it.
All right, let me get my shrimp boots on, my hip waders for that one and get through it. All right, let's give you a live look outside this morning. Sky 9 camera looking over downtown. Pretty shot from our Sky 9 view, brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake. It's cool outside, but not as cold as it has been. Baton Rouge right now, 48 degrees. New Roads, 44. Gonzales at 52. And what you'll note is most of us anywhere from about 7 to 12 degrees warmer than we were at this time yesterday. Baton Rouge 7 warmer, but Gonzales a full 12 degrees above where you were at this time on Tuesday. It's going to be another good looking day around the area. Temperatures in the mid 60s at noon, highs around 70, partly cloudy. We keep it dry. We're in the low 60s at 6 o'clock this evening. All we'll see today, not unlike yesterday, some high clouds streaming in from the southwest. That's about it. The next few days, keeping it quiet, but boy, we got a whopper of a storm system taking shape off the west coast right now. Starting to see some heavy rain impact parts of the west coast. Some energy is going to break off from that big area low pressure and track to the southeast. That will eventually translate into our weekend rainfall. So let's give you a look at the potential timeline. You can see the European a little bit slower today, not really showing rains rolling in until late afternoon or evening on Saturday, whereas prior runs really had it rolling in lunchtime or not long thereafter. Now the GFS does still bring the rain in earlier during the afternoon, so there is some uncertainty on that. We'll keep a close eye on it, obviously, with so many parades going on around the area coming up on Saturday. How much rain? That really hasn't changed the outlook. Weather Prediction Center showing 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rain on average across the area, which largely should be manageable. But coming off the heavy rain we had late last week, they are posting a 2 out of 4 slight risk of flooding. This would primarily cover if we get some heavier downpours. We might get a little bit of street flooding in spots Saturday and Saturday night. It's not a major concern right now, but we'll keep an eye on those rain numbers. In the meantime, we're going to keep it dry here through Friday and keep weather nice. Now tomorrow slightly cooler during the day with highs in the mid 60s. Friday is Groundhog Day. We keep it dry. Saturday though, highlighting it for not only the rain rolling in, the potential impacts to outdoor plans and parades. Most of the rain exits roughly by daybreak on Sunday. There could still be a couple of lingering showers during the day Sunday into Monday morning. Probably not a big deal at that point. Most of next week though looking dry and pretty comfortable temperature-wise. All right, 7:06, and Jared, you've been tracking kind of a traffic mess through the morning. I see still looks like some backups behind you.
Yeah, you know, Steve, our producer Bria just came in to tell me what actually ended up happening here. It was 2 separate car crashes that involved a total of 9 vehicles. The first crash involved 4 vehicles, then the second 5 more. So 9 cars were involved. Usually knowing nothing else, you can tell the severity of an accident just by the sheer backup it causes, and this one is causing a substantial one right now. This is the I-10-110 split looking in the westbound direction. Look at the cars right there. I mean, they are barely moving. They're moving. They're just not moving that quickly. And you can see from this vantage point on our traffic flows map, that's where the backup goes all the way back to now on I-10 West. It was originally just backed up to College, but we've seen it go a little bit farther and farther back over the past few minutes. So look at this, 1, 2, 3 separate incidents, and it just so happens that all three of them are kind of centered right over probably the worst place where you can have them. Look at that red. So first it went to College, then it went to Corporate, and now it's all the way back to the 10-12 split. So that is definitely causing a headache this morning. Again, if you're going I-10 West, either leave extra early or you're going to want to find a detour. 10-12 to 10-112, 10-110. That's going to take about a half hour. The average speed there at barely 10 miles per hour. So obviously the domino effect continues. If you're heading out across the basin over towards Lafayette, that'll run you about an hour right now. The average speed 50 miles per hour. Once you get to the other side of the bridge, you should be looking in better shape. If you want to get away from it altogether, I suppose you could take 190, but out to Lafayette, that's probably going to be worse. It's not going to solve your problem. But Matt and Liz, it's been a rough go this morning in that area.
It really has. I mean, it's locked up for a while. One issue, as you mentioned, Jared, can lock everybody up for a good while. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. You know what? Actually, there's a convoy in South Louisiana looking to hit the road to Texas this morning. They may need to take a new route here. But this convoy, actually, it didn't start here. It started up in Virginia, Liz, and it's all about one thing. It's all about border security and the conversations about it.
They call themselves God's Army. They made a stop there in Denham Springs last night to voice their opposition to what the federal government is doing and their opposition to what Texas is doing on the border there. So they stopped there. You can see the big flag, the big rig stopping there at a gas station there. So they say that's actually part of a week-long protest there. Currently seeing as many as 10,000 crossings per day there at Eagle Pass, Texas. That's where this group is traveling on down to again, let it be known that they're trying to unite in opposition of it. They believe that Texas has the authority to maintain and enforce the border where the federal government says, no, we do.
There's actually been a lot of conversation about this. Obviously, it's getting a lot of attention. You had recently 26 attorneys general penning a letter in opposition of the Biden administration's play on security there at the southern border. Plus, you also had Arizona state lawmakers, so 27 states, if you will, there. So all that conversation leading up to this, it's coast to coast. It's every state having conversations about this. It just happens to be this convoy is coming through Louisiana on the way to Texas, Arizona, and California. Stops along the way at points they say are high interest.
That's it. We'll continue to follow this for you, let you know what comes out of that. In the meantime, we've got a Crime Stoppers alert to tell you about. The Baton Rouge Police Department, they need your help solving a hit and run case here. So this actually happened on Florida Boulevard, think a while back. This was actually end of November. So after Thanksgiving, right around 6:30, a pickup truck traveling west on a service road near Florida Boulevard, it hit 2 people.
And so right now, the details are just kind of being released here in an effort to try and figure out the person behind the wheel. And at this point, they think they know the vehicle being driven. It's one of 2 different kinds of vehicles, possibly a Toyota Tundra or a Ford F-150. So that's what they have as far as information here. You mentioned 1 or 2 people actually died from their injuries at a later date here, officials confirming. So yes, a deadly hit and run. A few more details being released, but it's all going to come down to what the public has.
And speaking of the public, we also need you to keep your eyes out for a missing person. We're actually told this from the Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office, a missing persons alert. Please take a good look here. This is 32-year-old Felicia Renee So. We're told she was last seen at her home in Tickfaw about a month ago. Here's the key thing. Their family tells us that she's mentally disabled, maybe in the Lafayette area. That's why we need you to take a good look here. Please be careful on how you may approach her if you see her.
Because she can also suffer seizures as well, we're told. So there's a lot to pay attention here to. But look, we're all kind of connected here through social media. So from Tickfaw to maybe the Lafayette area to Baton Rouge, do what you do so well on social media. Put this out there, see if we can't find her. It's the 1-800 number, Crime Stoppers there in Tangi, 1-800-554-5245.
We're also following this, a big change coming to EBR schools, a system-wide change. So all middle and high schools, they are now getting a metal detector. So any middle and high school student walking through those doors, they're going to be entering a brand new process as they start to enter campus. Now here's the thing, all of the schools got at least one. Some schools were able to request a second one. They come at $4,000 a piece.
Not cheap, no, they're not cheap.
But they're not paying for it. But
exactly, they got the ability of the grant to get this stuff. And again, 20 of them right now, all middle schools and high schools. getting at least one, and as you pointed out, you can request more based on student body size. But the whole idea is that added layer of security while these kids are in class. You wish this was not necessary, but you wake up, you open your eyes, you understand the reality of the situation in the country these days. So one more layer is certainly appreciated. They did say, Liz, the wands that most schools have right now, those aren't going anywhere. They're going to keep those as a backup or in case of an emergency situation, that kind of deal. So just, again, one more level of security for the kids.
You just saw that school board president, right, Powell there. She was talking about how all of this is enhanced security measures to prevent something from happening before it gets into the school. So all with the measure of keeping kids safe. That is the goal. Speaking of keeping people safe.
Of preventing.
Yeah, let's talk about fire officials, fire ratings, and how that all plays into your homeowner's insurance. Callie Hubbard live this morning. She spoke with the Baton Rouge Fire Department because, Matt, they've had an impressive fire rating since 1980. This speaks volumes for what it means for your home insurance, but also their response efforts.
Okay, so what's a fire rating? Right? What goes into a fire rating? Well, it's all about manpower, their ability to respond, how close they are to all the folks that they would have to service in their area. You know, in rural areas it can get a little bit more difficult. But to your point, they've had this rating since like 1980. And I don't know if a lot of people knew this, Baton Rouge Fire Department, the first in the country to receive the highest rating. They rated on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, 1 being the best. And so they have that Class 1 rating. Important note here, and Kelly was talking about it this morning, it's not just what the department does, it's what we do as well.
If you'd like to see more details on this story, you head to her story and go ahead and share that on Facebook as well.
All right, Pelicans, flock up. Let's make it happen. 3-game losing skid. They play the Rockets tonight. Rockets are behind them in the standings. They've lost like 6 out of the last 10. This is a good time to get back onto that winning side.
Okay, come on. They can do it. We've seen some impressive numbers from them before in the last, not the recent 3 games, but in weeks past. Come on. So what can they show up? How can they show up against the Rockets tonight?
7 o'clock is the tip time, of course. We'll see what they can do. We talk about it all the time. They have the roster to do some good things. This is a team they need to beat. Yes, it's on the road, but they got to snap that skid. We'll see if they're able to do it.
In the meantime, tracking traffic, Jared, it is a nightmare out there on the interstate.
Yeah, and our producer Bria informed me of 2 separate incidents involving 9 different cars. When you see that kind of a backup, you can tell whatever it was serious. The backup has gone from bad to worse, all the way back to the 10-12 split. Hopefully it'll start improving, but it hasn't yet.
It hasn't yet.
Okay, are you hearing about any injuries right now?
I haven't heard anything about that. Yeah, we'll keep out for that.
Ooh, the good news though, the weather, Steve.
Yeah, weather nice the next few days. The bad news is Saturday still looking for rains roll in. We're tracking that for the parades. Still some uncertainty on timing. Tomorrow should start to get a better idea.
All right.
There you go. Taking the grandkids to the parade, Grandpa?
Oh no, the Bubba mug.
See how you can save thousands whether you buy here or sell here at the Team Automotive Group. Sell your vehicle to us and we'll pay you top value, or buy here and get a 90-day warranty on the purchase of a pre-owned vehicle. Get Team VIP service at every location of the Team Automotive Group.